Hello again, Natasha Joly, Berkeley Heights. So a couple of questions for you all. First, on a positive note, I want to say that I really like the new website. Much easier to navigate, looks much more professional, and so good stuff there. So in terms of questions, I was also happy to see the measurable targets, right, on the district goals. I think we could have been a little bit more aggressive than 3%. I would like to know, exactly what we're doing differently to achieve those targets. I mean, that was my original question. I think we heard some of the programs mentioned here, but, the targets on their own without like a specific action plan. So I'd just like to understand what that is. Somewhat related, I think Ms. Khanna asked a question about thinking classrooms that really wasn't answered. So I'd just like to understand what is the state of thinking classrooms compared to what it was last year. When will you have the public meeting for the board goals? I think the board goals have been in discussion for over a year. So when is that likely to happen? And final, courtesy busing, that's another big one. What's the plan, or is there a plan for the plan? Now that everyone's back paying attention and kids are on established routes, I think we need to review that one again quickly. And then finally, with respect to the budget process, right? Recently, there was some stuff that's been published that said that the Board of Education members did not review the detailed budget prior to voting on the final budget. I know there was a detailed budget that was circulated prior to the first budget meeting. Then there was a second meeting where there were a lot of revisions that were presented in PowerPoint form, but then a vote was taken. So my question to the board is, did the board have a chance to review the detailed line item budget? And, just to understand how things are being accounted for. So, one question I had recently, Mountainside pays us a lot of money. Do you? Yes. So, Mr. Hyman, well, no, I'm going to ask you about it. Do you know how the money's accounted for? Like, is it clear to you, looking at the budget process and the detail line budget, like where the money is going, and is it really going where you need it to go or you want it to go? So I think we just need to understand that. I mean, I think, even if it's just a check for fat fingering or something, if it's a massive, spreadsheet. So, all right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Sai Bhargavi, Akiri. I would like to say it was a great presentation on NJSLA, even though I think caught 20% of it on that side screen because nothing's viewable here. I just wanted to ask from the cohort slide that we got, and I don't know if maybe this is an answer to be. So how are we going to compare the cohorts? And again, a question that wasn't answered is, do we have any specific strategies for like the 8th graders in ELA where they were at 84%? Do we have a plan? So it was a great presentation. Can we get a follow-up presentation with strategies and plans for where we need to make some improvements? I think I saw some numbers when we were comparing genders and also free lunch programs, like the scores were not doing that great. Coming back to agenda and the attachments that's available, those are available for public. I would have loved to have a copy that the administration had or you all had for the presentation because nothing was viewable. So going forward, it's just a suggestion, like maybe a couple copies of the presentations that are going to be made so that the community and parents who are here can follow along. On the budget, we finally got to see a detailed budget, and there was a line item for textbooks. So this is my favorite question. Can every student have request for and have access to, say, math textbook or a science textbook? I know personally, we requested for a science textbook last year and a math, and we couldn't get one. So question is, can we get that this year? coming to busing, we have equity and inclusion incorporated in our district goals. And we keep talking about it every single time, be it reconfiguration or hiring or educational practices. So my question to you is, how is it fair and equitable and inclusive in offering free courtesy busing with no criteria for some and denying subscription busing to 2 elementary schools? Why not send a bill to all until you can figure this out and just be fair and equitable? Because I think we are opening up to some sorts of issues here, because if there is no documented criteria, according to your email, Angela, the decision is arbitrary and capricious, and you're denying subscription busing to 2 elementary schools, which are 3 to 5. Also, I have a follow-up on, was the contract for Mr. Giordano on the agenda today? Because I didn't see it in the attachments. So I'm not sure, because last time Dr. Worley said at the August 10th meeting, it was only for a month and we're going to reappoint or have a new contract. I didn't see anything in the agenda or the attachments that's on the district website. And can we get a target date for enabling Zoom? You know, you said you're going to do it TBD. It's been 4 or 5 months. So if I can get a target date, that would be great.
Thank you. Mr.
Thank you.
Chair. Thank you.